Hey, this Bruh C on the final of a three-part series, and we've been talking about growth. We can get so complacent with our growth to where simple things like peer pressure can hold our growth back. Let me go a little further into that. And you can read in the Bible where tells you that the the poor will be here forever. You'll never be able to eradicate the poor. I don't know whether God was saying some people just not gonna get his understanding and come out of poverty, because you don't have to have material things and be wealthy with material things. I mean, poor is defined different. It's almost the way you live, the way you want to live your life will consider you poor. But that's a more deeper understanding. But what I'm trying to get at is you're not gonna be able to save everyone. You're not gonna be able to save every kid. But see, now you have your kids that are striving and want to do things, man, and want to go forward. Peer pressure hamper them. Sometimes, which like I said, I don't have a lock on understanding. So there's some of the stuff you can feed back to me about. It's like me, I don't know how strong I am to deal with the unjustly and the unruly and to try to make that kid or this kid, a top student. I just don't know. But I do know that the ones that want to be all they could be, man, I believe in trying to help them because I just don't have all the answers. I just don't have all the answers. But peer pressure a lot of times hamper a lot of good kids because they don't want to be outside, because who they are has been defined to where they won't put out the strength at a young age to be somebody different than how the pack is running. And you do have your ones that do escape it. But trust me, that peer pressure is a hard thing. So it hampers their growth. Because whether you realize it or not, you can give them all that they need in the house. The average kid spend a lot of time away from their working parents. So that's a touchy subject to when you get to talking about kids because we'll defend and die for our kids because they are our future, and it's just some straightforward answers that need to be talked about when it comes to dealing with kids. You just have to be realistic. You're not gonna save every kid. It's not gonna be a kumbaya moment for all blacks. You're not gonna make all us wealthy and prosperous all at the same time. Hell, all whites are not wealthy and prosperous. What separates you from poor whites and blacks is their mentality. I don't understand it, but it's their mentality. You can have more than they have, and for some reason, they still think that they have more rights, and it's just something that is hard to fathom. But we keeping it real, so that's something that I never grab. It's just like when we talked about Obama and stuff. I would think that a lot of the things that he's doing will benefit middle class and lower middle class whites. But it's like, do they get it? The Republicans are not fighting for you, not the programs that they're trying to put in place right now, but that topic was on an earlier video. So we're talking about growth right now. And this is the last of a three-part series. So that's what's important is your growth. And like I said, we went through a period in this country where money was plentiful. Everybody making money. How you make your money? You make it through entertainment, because those were some fields that we easily got that we can entertain. Trust me, whether it's playing basketball, that's entertainment. Football, baseball, singing, all that is entertainment. And we made great money doing it. But that was a way for you to get money to reinvest it. Now, I know you say, how can a broke man or a poor man, and I don't consider myself a poor man, but a man without the resources that these people that I'm talking about, how can he tell if they made their money? And you're right. So I won't argue with them. But what I'm saying is, it is a better way. It is a better way to do it because you can't take it with you. If you really want to see your people in this race go further, you start dealing with the infrastructure. And we all will benefit from it. That's where you're supposed to be going towards. Not to get a $200 million house, not to get $100 million house, and look at me. But that's fine if that's what you want. But the ideal is to start investing in the infrastructure of a people. Now, let me tell you something that's going on. And one of the things why I think they're having so much turmoil in the Mideast, in these Muslim countries, I think that the people of those countries have finally woken up and realized you got a certain few with money and they're not investing in the infrastructure. It's like all this oil money and there's no universities, there's no research centers, there's no jobs, there's no any of that. So you're starting to see chaos all over the world. And what I mean by investing in the infrastructure, I'm taking it to a race now, to where if you invest in the infrastructure as if building laboratories, trying to figure out, what caused AIDS instead of waiting on somebody else to figure it out, and technology, doing all these things, then them are the infrastructure and natural resources, and you're building a foundation to build off. Hell, look, when our kids go to college and get 4-year, 6-year, and 8-year degrees, they still have to go to other folks for jobs. They still depending on somebody now to pay them to use this not and enhance their company. And don't get me wrong, I'm not just talking strictly what we can, what America can do for black. What I'm really talking about is redirecting our mindset and our foundation and how to really grow. I can see 200, 300, 400 black millionaires. But if I don't see laboratories and research centers, and pulling natural resources out of the earth and making steel so you can make ships and airplanes and all this type stuff, you're just a consumer. So that's what I mean by we need to grow. If we're gonna really try to make a future for our kids, this are the directions we need to start going in, because the direction they're going in now is entertainment. And they're so juiced up and hyped up to be the next LeBron James, T.O., Tiger Woods. And there's nothing wrong with those. If that's what God has blessed you with, then that's what God has blessed you with. But you do have to understand, if you really want to give back, keep your truck of turkeys on Thanksgiving. Rappers with all the money you make, build a duplex, build condos, build housing areas, invest in the land. Land is a natural resource. The ghetto that you came from, you can replace it. You get 4 or 5 of your buddies that $200 million strong, and y'all can build houses and build stuff. You can get some of these blacks that work on Wall Street, invest in them and starting up a bank. And so they can invest and give out small business loans that loans to hard working black people, and let them pay you back and make big money. But you got to get out of the receiving end. You got to start creating things, creating jobs, creating stuff, and not nightclub jobs, not package store jobs, but let me be fair now. Do not think for one time I don't think that I don't know there's a lot of this is going on. But it's up under the radar. And we're not recognizing it and bringing it to the front to where our kids see these things. Hell, you take Colin Powell and Condoleezza Rice. Man, I can watch BET, I can watch TV One, I can watch any program that deal with blacks. They never invite those two people there. Hell, because they believe in another political party. Do you understand what it took to be the general of the army or the secretary of state? And it took something. Colin don't have to be mean. But when I look at Colin, I'm proud of Colin. When I look at Condoleezza Rice, I'm proud of her for the compliments that she have made. Stop trying to make people be you. Stop trying to make all blacks be Democrats. Stop trying to put blacks in slaves. In slavery. Stop trying to make them slaves. Man, when they're prosperous, be proud of them, because I guarantee you, if you sit down and talk to Condoleezza Rice, you sit down and talk to Colin Powell, man, you'd be surprised the directions and the networking that these folks can turn you on to. But just because they don't believe in the same political party, they're not black. Like I said, you can't define blackness. Don't do it. Define you, but don't try and define blackness, because you'll never find two blacks that are the same. Now, if you need to get on TV and try to represent all of us, do it. But what folks don't know is that them hired you to get on there and try to define it. You can't do it. You're taking their money. Because once you leave that studio, it's different. So we gonna cut this off right here tonight, and we'll finish up when I see you again. Bless you.